So the Xbox Series S is kind of in a weird position in today's gaming market. On one hand, there are a lot of attractive features about the Xbox Series S, such as the price point, the experience it offers, and the accessibility to play AAA titles at a very affordable price. But on the other hand, some people believe that with its lack of power and performance, it actually hinders the Xbox Series brand on a whole with its inability to keep up with the modern demand of resources from the newer games coming out. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the pros and the cons of the Xbox Series S and try to find out if the Xbox Series S will be a perfect fit in your gaming library. So let's jump into it. So one of the primary things that makes the Xbox Series S so attractive to gamers is obviously the price. At a price point of only $299, you can jump into the next gaming generation and start right off the bat playing a whole bunch of AAA titles. And speaking of price, $299 is what it launched at, but you can find these things relatively cheap nowadays on places like Facebook Marketplace, sometimes going for $200, and sometimes you can even catch these things on sale. And for that price, we're talking about some serious performance. And I would challenge you to build a gaming PC that will run AAA titles like the Xbox Series S at 120 frames per second, ray tracing, and HDR effects. So what kind of games can you play on the Xbox Series S? Well, a huge catalog. So once you get the Xbox Series S, if you pair that with the Game Pass for $20, you're looking at over 100 titles to play. Now I'll admit, some of them kind of suck on there, that's just being honest, but at the same time, a lot of those games are total AAA blockbuster hits. You have the whole Gears of War series, the Halo series, and right now you can even play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta if you're an Xbox Game Pass owner, and it actually runs at 120 FPS. But not only that, every Xbox Day 1 release will be available to you on the Xbox Series S as well as the Xbox Series X. And while the Xbox Series S doesn't have a physical disk drive, it does come with storage space and an SSD drive, so you're going to get fast load times when you're playing these games. And even without a physical disk drive, you still have access to backward compatibility. A lot of the games from the old generation, such as the Xbox One and even the Xbox 360, offer games on the Game Pass and games you can buy in the store, and they will play flawlessly on your Xbox Series S no problem. Another good feature of the Xbox Series S, well, its sleek design. It's small, compact, and it draws a lot less power than its bigger brother, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 for that matter. But let's say you're not an Xbox owner. Let's say you're a PlayStation fan or a Nintendo fan and you have a Switch or a PlayStation 5. You kind of thought about getting into the Xbox scene, but you don't want to spend that $500. Well, the Xbox Series S is perfect for you. If you don't want to make that full investment, go ahead and get a Series S. Let's be real, in today's economy with inflation and everything going up in price, this is definitely a way to go. You're getting a complete system that plays AAA titles, 120 FPS, not for all games, but 120 FPS for games like Call of Duty that demand that high refresh rate, and also 60 FPS for high intense games. Now, I'm gonna be honest, not every game runs at 60 FPS, some are capped at 30, but for the most part, 90% of your library is going to run at least 60 FPS or have a setting for it. But now, on the flip side, let's look at some of the drawbacks of the Xbox Series S compared to other modern consoles in this generation. Well, we'll just start off with its bigger brother, the Xbox Series X. Despite featuring the same CPUs, the clearest difference between the Series X and S, besides the design, is performance. The hardware behind the Series X is befitting to its size because the console boasts larger RAM, storage, and native 4K display capability, while the Series S does have 4K upscaling and HDR, but that pales in comparison to a console that is fully capable of 8K output. And the same thing goes for the PS5. So what does that mean? Well, let's just talk about the elephant in the room, the Xbox Series S parity clause. The Xbox Series S parity clause, which requires games on both Series X and S to have the same set of features, but allows for differences in performance such as frame rate and resolution, and it can complicate things for developers, like in the Baldur's Gate 3 incident, which included complex features like split-screen co-op. The disparity in hardware between the two consoles created challenges. The Series S, with its lower performance ceiling compared to the Series X, struggled to handle these certain features, especially in areas where the game demanded significant features in processing power and memory. And another hot topic here is Black Myth Wukong. Now, obviously we know that game did not release on the Xbox platform. Now, some people are saying that Black Myth was an exclusive deal with Sony, and others are saying that it wasn't exclusive, and right now it's having the same problem that Baldur's Gate 3 had, where it's not capable of running on the Xbox Series S. And with the parity clause, you have to release the Xbox S version to be on par with the Series X version. Now, not to say Black Myth Wukong is perfect on the PS5, because I do have that game and there are a few hiccups here and there. It can be improved, and I'm sure it will be with patches coming down the road. But at least for now, the game is playable on a PS5 platform. The same can't be said about the Series X, and we wonder why. Now, with that topic being up for debate, we don't have hard, clear answers on it. What we do know, there are games coming out in the future that are going to be even more demanding on these current generation consoles, such as GTA 6. We know that game's probably going to run in 60 FPS for all platforms, but it's going to be extremely hard, if possible, to run GTA 6 on the Xbox Series S at a whopping 60 FPS. And we also have to look at the fact that the Xbox Series S runs at 1080p and can do some 1440p, but it struggles to have that 120 FPS benchmark if you're running a game at 1440p. You're definitely going to want to play GTA 6 at 4K if you can at 60 FPS. On an Xbox Series S, that's just not possible. So it's definitely fair to say that the Xbox Series S is not future-proof. 4 years ago, the games were a little more simple and the S could kind of keep up. But the reality is, moving forward, the Xbox Series S does struggle. Now, with all that said, what's the verdict on the Xbox Series S? Well, to be honest, I think the Xbox Series S is still a good buy. But let's not kid ourselves here. If you own an Xbox Series X already, there's no need for an Xbox Series S. If you're a PlayStation or a Switch owner and you don't want to invest in the Xbox brand all the way, I definitely recommend the Xbox Series S to get your feet wet and see what's going on. While it does struggle to run higher end games at 60 FPS, if you're comfortable playing games at 30 and you just want the experience, Xbox Series S might be right for you. Also, if you're just starting out and you're on a budget, and there's nothing wrong with that, I feel like an Xbox Series S might be great. With the combination of the Game Pass, the low entry level price, and the premium experience it offers for what it is, it's definitely a winner. And Xbox Series S sales, believe it or not, are actually on the rise. So to sum the two consoles up, basically, the Xbox Series S is a great choice for those who have a smaller budget and want a console capable of playing modern games, are looking for a console that provides good value for the money while still offering smooth gaming experiences and essential features. Just know that the Series S has its limitations. Series X, on the other hand, is more suited for gamers who want the best possible performance, including native 4K and potentially 8K resolutions. Also, people that have 4K TVs who want to fully utilize their display capabilities. Because if you run this S on a 4K TV, you're definitely going to see the shortcomings of the Series S with that big of a screen. And lastly, those looking for a more future-proof option, definitely go with the Xbox Series X. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think about the Xbox Series S. Me personally, I do love mine. I have two Xbox Series S's. I got one for my kid and one for my wife, and I think they are fine consoles. However, myself, I do have an Xbox Series X, and I'm looking forward to the future of gaming. The only bad part is, I do feel like the S does hinder the X a little bit with its limited capability. And the fact that there are probably about 30 to 40 million Xboxes out there, a lot of those Xboxes are Series S versions of them. And what that means is, you can't really scrap the parity clause, because that would be a very bad look for Microsoft if they continue to cut off support for the Xbox Series S. So that's what kind of puts it in this weird place where it's there, the Series S is here, it's got a following, but it kind of puts Microsoft in a pickle. You can't cut off support because that's terrible PR. At the same time, you're being hindered by the limits of the Xbox Series S. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching, and please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss any gaming related topics on this channel. With that, take care of yourself, protect your inner peace, God bless, and we'll catch you on the next video.